Hi, Stash Busters. Welcome to YAK. Just making sure we're live. We're live. So, welcome to YAK, where we yak about yarn, fiber crafts, whatever we feel like yakking about. We are coming to you from our local yarn store, The Stash. I'm Kimmer.
I'm Carla.
And tonight, we are deep diving into fun facts about yarn. What did you know?
That's right. But first, we'll show you what we have been working on this week.
What have you been working on, Carla?
I've been working on this fabulous tip-to-tip scarf, that is. And I'm using actually DK yarn on mine instead of the recommended
worsted.
We
had a little class on Saturday where we all kind of started our own tip-to-tip scarf, and we had a basic pattern to start with, but it allowed for a lot of variation. So there's actually a few people in here tonight working on their tip-to-tip. They're coming on the downward slope, the decrease side. A tip-to-tip, if you don't know, is a scarf that starts out literally with a chain and a double crochet, and gradually 1 stitch a row increases as you go up. So at first your increase is quite sharp, and then it starts to take a longer and a longer and a longer amount of time. And then when you reach a midpoint that you're comfortable with, then you start to decrease 1 stitch a row and come back down. So you end up with a really layerable scarf that you can wrap around a couple of times, once or twice, and the ends kind of hang down. You can put tassels on them or pom-poms or nothing, whatever you want.
Right.
They're really comfortable and cute. And for a layering scarf, what you don't have is all the extra from the scarf being the same width all the way around. You don't have all the extra, you don't have all that. It's lighter down low. So for a coat or a sweater or a person who's already got plenty of fluff here, it's kind of nice because it's all kind of up here across your front of your chest and shoulders, and then down lower it's just a little, and also I find them flattering because they go like this, so they kind of point down and they draw the eye down. I like them. So anyway, so we decided to do one this weekend. I'm also doing the tip-to-tip. Did you want to tell them what yarn you're using? Because your yarn is gorgeous.
I am using Arcane Fiberworks. I love fall most of all. The fall has all my favorites.
This is my favorite fall that Tyler did. Tyler from Arcane Fiberworks did this year, is because he had a couple that were really awesome. I'm not dissing the rest of them, but because it has this gray and this taupey brown and then that creamy yellow in it. I really like it.
That's all my favorites.
We should hold it up so they can see what we're talking about. It's just beautiful. So beautiful. It's going to look really nice on you.
I love it. And for me with this, my hope is to be able to throw it up around my head. And so I don't
wrap it around.
Yes. So I don't get the draft down my back.
Could you believe the weather yesterday? Yo, if you're watching from somewhere else, we're in Wisconsin. And yesterday it was, I think the low was 22. It was at least.
What was the high? Was it 32?
I think it was 33? Freezing. I know they had snow up north in northern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin and parts of the UP, the Upper Peninsula by Michigan. It was unseasonably, that's too cold too fast for this area. None of us were really impressed with that. We spent the better part of August going, could it just be fall? I would like things to stop dripping sweat.
Now ask me.
And now we're like, wait, too much, too fast. This is not what I ordered.
Now ask me if it's going to be 70 by the weekend.
Is it going to be 70 by the weekend?
Yes, it is.
Welcome to Wisconsin in the fall.
Woohoo!
You literally need heat and an air conditioner, sometimes within a few hours of each other, for a couple weeks here while Mother Nature decides what it is that she would like to do. So anyway, I'm also making a tip-to-tip, but of course, I couldn't just sit and double crochet because, why would Kimmer do that? Kimmer doesn't do that. So I ended up writing a pattern for a stitch set, and it ended up turning out, I think, really cute. I've had a lot of people be like, what? I am going to write it up and put it on the website. It will be a downloadable pattern pretty soon. So I'm using a yarn that I bought on our YAK trip a few weeks ago, but it is the yarn that we're considering bringing into the store. And I posted about that on our YAK page on the website. But what I did is this conical shell stitch. So it's like a posted conical shell stitch that I did across the rows. So it gives it some texture and a lot of squish
Yes,
for
it's
worsted.
very
So it's just
squishy.
one strand of
Yes.
worsted yarn.
I love it.
I think it will probably make it a little bit of a yarn eater, but not too bad. I'm on my third standard 100-gram skein of this yarn, and I'm decreasing as we speak. So anyway, so that's what I made. That's what I'm doing. And if you ever want to know more about what we are making or what we're working on or the patterns we're using to do it or the yarn or supplies we're using to do it, you can go to our website at www.shopthestashbusters.com and click on the Yarn Yak page on our website. And there's information, you know, about that kind of thing and extra details sometimes about Yarn Yak or maybe upcoming episodes sometimes. And there's a little, if you're curious, little informal about us section about me and about Carla, your hostesses for the evening. So, anyway. Hey, Carla.
Hey, Kimmer.
I have to ask you something.
Yes.
Did you know DYK? First time I saw that anagram. That's all I'm going to say.
She was
Acronym.
acronym.
That's all I'm going to say. So, did you know the longest chain, the longest crocheted chain is 80.78 miles long?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Tell me more.
It was made by a French woman named Anne Venier Drussel. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. Took her over 5 months to complete. She started in June 2008 and finished in November of 2008.
Wow.
Could you crochet a chain, just a chain, for that long of a period of time?
No, I get bored.
Same. But still, it's one way to get in the
Impressive.
Guinness Book of World Records, right?
Yes.
Just chain.
Yes.
And when you think about it that way,
Impressive.
that's a really easy way
Yeah.
to get in the Guinness Book
Right?
of World Records.
I know.
You could set a kid to that.
Yeah, I was going to say that was what Pearl did the first
Yeah.
time I taught her how to do
You want to be in the
anything.
Guinness Book of World Records? Sure. Start
She-
chaining, kid.
She chained a skein of green.
Right?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
So, Kimmer,
Yes,
did
Carla?
you know?
No.
Did you know
I didn't.
that after drinking and spending the night with an ex-girlfriend, a man woke up with a crochet hook stuck up his urethra? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Do we know how it got there?
While seeking medical attention, the man was unable to tell doctors how it got there. It was successfully removed. That being the most important part.
I wonder what you have to do to someone for them to do. I'm not even going to say it again.
Well, seriously, what
for
I
them
mean,
to do that to you. What
yeah,
did he do to her?
I don't know, but he probably deserved it.
I hate to say it, but you know, he maybe probably deserved it.
Or she's psycho, and it was a good thing that he got rid of her.
But one or the other.
It's
It
one
sounds
or the
like
other.
it was a painful lesson for him.
Yeah.
Either way.
Oh, for sure.
A painful lesson either way.
Never get back together with your ex. I
or
guess.
something like that.
I have no
and
idea.
part 2, always seek medical attention if there's something
Yes.
stuck somewhere in your
Yes.
body that
Yes.
it should
Yes.
not
Yes.
be.
Yes.
Don't try to remove that stuff
Absolutely. No.
yourself.
Can you imagine a
No,
crochet
oh
hook?
my god. A man's urethra is not that big a
No,
round.
it's not.
And crochet hooks can be
Very
quite big. I wonder how big it was.
Boy, I hope it wasn't
More
an M.
information is needed. If you feel like Googling and getting to
bet
the
it
bottom
was
of
a
that,
pea.
we'd love to hear about it. Oh my god. It was a pea hook. Okay. Oh Lord. Oh boy. So just so you guys know, the store is open tonight, even though we are live. So we have a few customers in here. So if you see someone sneaking behind us trying to get to some yarn or anything like that, don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's all good.
It's totally fine. So hey, Carla,
Yes, Kimmer.
did you know crochet became increasingly popular in the 1920s?
I did not know.
Do you know why?
I do not.
Because women shucked off their corsets.
Wow.
And they started to crochet lacy underwear. Lacy racy underwear in the
Wow.
20s. So it was quite recent. that crochet got so, and that's what started it. Chicks wanting to be, you know,
That's right.
racy.
Racy. Racy. Hey, Kimmer,
What, Carla?
did you know
No.
in the late 1800s, men's and women's hairstyles required a significant amount of oily pomade?
I remember that.
Therefore,
Ew.
crochet became more widespread as women made doilies to protect their furniture.
Have you guys ever looked at those doilies that come up that you used to see on the backs of furniture? It's how ornate
Mhm.
and detailed and super like fancy and hard to make those things are.
Yeah,
And that's what they
crazy.
made to absorb nasty hair oil.
Isn't that crazy? To keep the furniture clean.
I mean, did they have paper towels?
They did not. I can almost guarantee that.
Probably not yet, huh?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. But yeah, that makes it makes
It does
perfect
make sense if you
now to see
okay,
them.
you know what it reminds me of immediately though? Do you remember the movie, the
I do.
original Coming to America movie?
Yes.
And the Soul Glow family,
Mhm.
and they like are sitting, all three of them are sitting on the couch, and then they have to get up for something, and when they get up, there's these big, huge oil spots on the sofa.
Yeah.
So that's what they were making doilies for, was to make that not happen. Just let your soul glow. I can't believe I just.
I can't believe you just did that.
I might be a little bit tired, which makes me slightly less inhibited. Hey, Carla.
Hey, Kimmer.
Did you know
I did.
that yarning, crocheting, or knitting is an antidepressant with some serious clout? Serious clout. It eases anxiety. It also calms your pain receptors. So if you're hurt, if something is hurting you or you have chronic pain, then crochet or knitting can help you. And it reduces the risk of Alzheimer's by 30 to 50%.
That's amazing.
30 to 50%. It also works really well as a healthy habit replacement for addiction or substance recovery programs.
Yep.
Because it has that repetitive, like, insistent, you know how it is. I must. One more row, two more stitches.
Mhm.
And so it's a way to use that nervous energy that you have usually when you are going through recovery and redirect it to something productive.
So, Kimmer, did you know that I used to smoke? 5 years ago, I quit. Both my husband and I did.
Did you
And this
begin
is
to
true.
yarn like a crazy person?
Yes,
when you
I
quit?
yarned before, but I have never yarned as much as I do now. It was with you saying that, it just made me think
Hey,
about
Carla.
how much I do now.
Did you know? I used to smoke 3 packs a day of Virginia Slims.
Did you?
Yeah. And I quit smoking Virginia Slims.
That's amazing.
But it's not the same.
It's better.
It's better. Anyway,
Okay.
I also now yarn more
Yep.
since I don't smoke
Yeah.
anymore. Probably mostly because I'm not constantly dipping outside
Yes.
for a cigarette.
Yep. Absolutely.
Probably.
Yep. So for reals now, seriously, did you know a woman named Grace Brett is thought to be the world's oldest street artist at 104 years
I
old?
think I heard of this lady. Tell me more.
She yarn bombed her entire town in the county of Borders, Scotland. The entire town.
That is so cool.
Yes.
That is so cool. I think I have seen that. There are some really cool pictures on the internet of that project.
Mhm.
Yeah. 104
Can you imagine?
years old. So that means that we can basically do this forever.
Yes.
Until we actually die.
Yes.
Because she could do that.
Yes. Absolutely.
This gives me hope.
Yep.
It makes me happy.
Well, and what a better thing to do too is just to liven
Right?
up, your
To make
area.
things pretty
Yes.
and like whatever interesting
Absolutely.
for other people.
Because by that time, I'm sure you've made,
How many dishcloths and napkins
Yeah,
have baby
exactly.
blankets have you made
and
at
you
that
don't
point?
need any more.
Neither does anyone who
Right?
ever knew you
Right?
ever.
They're like, please,
Ever.
please,
Like,
don't.
The 6 degrees of Kimmer and
Yes,
Carla,
yes,
like
yes.
all their children and grandchildren and great grandchildren and their friends babies.
Yep. Exactly.
Got it all covered.
Right.
Moving on. Where's trees? Hey Carla,
Yes, Kimmer.
do you want to know who some crocheters are?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, some seriously famous crocheters.
Okay.
U.S. President James Buchanan
No way.
was an avid crocheter. That's so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Also, George Washington Carver, who invented crop rotation,
Mhm.
also was a crocheter. Patricia Arquette, If you don't know
Okay.
who Patricia Arquette is and you don't have IMDb, she was in Desperately Seeking Susan with my next celebrity crocheter, Madonna.
I don't know.
Madonna. Also, Claire Barton, who is the founder of the Red Cross, was an avid crocheter.
Mhm.
And Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, Jane Seymour,
All
also
right.
an avid crocheter.
Awesome.
I have a few famous knitters here too, if you want me to slide those in.
Yeah, do it.
Demi Lovato, Robin Williams was a really hardcore knitter, Meryl Streep, and Russell Crowe from the
Ooh.
300.
Yeah,
Well, I'll watch him knit. You watch him knit?
yeah,
we're
for
gonna,
sure.
we're interested.
for sure. I'd watch
We're
it.
interested.
If I
Lots of
can
famous
remember.
people, but those are the ones I can find. Verified
That's
online.
insane. Yeah, that's awesome. Kimmer, did you know the world's fastest knitter is a woman named Miriam?
Someone has tracked this?
Yes, from the Netherlands. Miriam from the Netherlands.
Oh.
She can hand knit 118 stitches in 1 minute.
That sounds like a lot.
It seems
That sounds like a lot. Like,
I can't do that many. I'm not a very proficient knitter, but I try.
118 though.
I
That
can't
sounds
even
like a
imagine.
lot of
That's like up
stitches.
there with like typing, with people who can type so much a minute, you know?
Yeah, but no, I mean, in fairness, I mean, typing is
Yep.
just
Oh, for
your
sure.
fingers, your hands stay in one place, and
Yep.
your fingers just
Yep.
go, right?
Yep.
Knitting is like you have to do a few
You have
things
to
to
do all the
accomplish a
things.
stitch.
Yep, and don't drop a stitch.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
No. No. I would immediately if someone was timing me.
Yeah.
I would drop them right and
Oh,
left.
I
We
would
could
too,
barely knit
yeah.
as it is.
That'll change. We'll get you on the knitting boat.
We'll see. I don't. It's not. I don't feel like it's a failure on my part. I'm
It's
just not that
not.
interested.
Yep.
You know.
Yep, and I was, and that's why I did
Yeah,
it. But I'm
yeah.
still not very
Sooner
good
or
at
later,
it.
we've said this before. Sooner or later, there will be
Yep.
something that Kimmer will decide she must make.
Yep.
That is knit, and then it will be on because that's
Yep.
how I've learned how to do
I'm a
everything.
donkey cat.
Yep. Hey, Carla,
Hey,
did you know
I didn't.
that a domestic wool sheep, like a merino,
Yeah.
their fleece will keep growing forever
What?
until the sheep is so weighed down it will just die
Are you
because
kidding?
it can't move and it can't see and it can't eat.
Oh my gosh.
No joke. Shearing is necessary for a domestic wool sheep's health and life.
Huh.
They have to be sheared.
Wow.
And also, it doesn't hurt them
Right.
to be sheared.
Right.
So, and also, some
Yeah.
sheep are gay.
Really?
Yeah, and we still love them.
Yeah.
But truthfully, some are, by nature,
Mhm.
their inclination is to be gay.
Hmm.
They prefer it. Isn't that interesting?
It's crazy.
Yeah, I thought
I
it
mean,
was. I
yeah,
thought
it is
was
very
interesting.
interesting.
I was like,
Yeah.
that makes me think. It
Mhm.
makes me wonder things. Anyway,
Right?
like,
Did-
do they fall in love?
Sheep? I'm sure.
Jason,
mean-
my husband says they're very social animals. I'm sure they are.
But that's like with a lot of,
Other species?
yeah, like even cows. Cows are very social.
Yeah.
Nosy.
So are people.
Yeah.
People are also
exactly,
nosy.
exactly.
Nosy.
Yes, absolutely. Just crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy how that mimics the
the human.
yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this or not. Okay. I also
Have a gay
have
sheep?
a North American speed knitting champ.
What?
hmm
There's more than one?
Yes. Her name is Linda. And this is from 2020, my sources. And Linda can hand knit 253 stitches in 3 minutes.
Jeez.
I can't even.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
253
It makes me
in
want to
3
do
minutes.
like stupid human games, like yarn games, and see
Right.
how close can we anyone in our community here get.
Right.
Like, not that I would expect people to beat those records, but just like how fast can you go? Like, let's compare it
Yeah,
to the
oh, for
world
sure.
record. That would be fun. It
So
would
my
be super
question
interesting.
is, with both of these knitters,
Mm-hmm.
are they knitting in the round, or are they having to go one way, turn,
And
go the
go
other
back?
way? Yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder if it's
I don't
just,
know.
you know, it'd be like a crocheter. Are you actually knitting, crocheting something, or
Or
are you just
do,
yeah,
do?
or are
Like,
you just
how
crocheting
big of a
chain?
row? Well, I guess that
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
No, are you just crocheting? You know, would you just crochet a chain and see how far
Well,
you could go.
technically, to be crochet, it's got to be the chain is the foundation. It has to be a
Right.
stitch.
Right.
So I would imagine that the crochet records that have been set would be based on having a chain and working
Already
stitches
set.
into the chain, and whether you have to chain and that counts as
Mhm.
you're setting up with a chain counts. I don't know. That would be
Sure.
something interesting to try to find out.
That would be actually. We should set
Absolutely.
up our own yarn trials.
Mm-hmm. Hey Carla,
Hey, Kimmer.
did you know the term stitch and bitch, which you may have heard around here before,
Mhm.
has been used at least since World War II to refer to social knitting or crochet groups.
Hmm.
It is the title of a set of knitting and crochet handbooks, which they are also here in the stash if you ever want to look at them. But scholars note that people who study sociology and psychology note that these social groups often act as a form of resistance
Hmm.
to major political, social, and technological changes in Western societies. I find that very interesting because we are currently experiencing a resurgence of interest in what they call old school or old fashioned handiwork, knitting and crochet being one of those, among other things.
Mhm.
So what are the people who are doing that resisting? What are we resisting? Political, social, and technical, all three? All three of those changes, all those massive changes. I just thought that was an interesting little
It is.
statistic.
Yeah, that is interesting. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of the World War, I'm going to take you back to World War One. Okay. And did you know, Kimmer, Woodrow Wilson kept a flock of sheep at the White House during World War One to keep the grass trimmed as a cost-cutting measure.
Lawnmowers.
Yep.
So he was
And
way ahead of
yes,
his time.
Yes, and to show support for the war effort. Because not only
Conserving
yes,
fuel,
well,
sure.
absolutely.
Because gas
And-
was rationed.
Absolutely. And you can't ask your fellow Americans to do something that you're not willing to do as
I
well.
wonder if they even
I
had
feel.
gas-powered lawnmowers, and it may have been to show support for the war by conserving manpower.
Yep.
Because if they had the push,
Yep.
I'm not sure, but if
Yeah,
it
I
was
don't
the
know either, but yeah.
the push kind, the manual mowers,
Mhm.
that would still take many men,
To do, yes.
able-bodied men, to do
Yep.
that work.
Yep.
So having sheep do it instead, sheep are not going to war, but men
No.
needed to. So
But having the sheep there, then you also
Yeah.
have access to the fleece to
Yeah.
make socks, hats.
well, and I hate to say it, but
mittens.
if necessary,
Yeah.
meat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
people that like mutton.
Yep.
I've
I
never
like it
had
on my Euro.
I've never had it.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
So
I
don't know.
I don't mind it at all. I do like
But we're not talking about cute little black-faced Valois sheep. Then we're not eating those sheep. That's not the sheep we're talking about eating. I don't want to talk about eating sheep. I don't want anybody to get upset. No getting upset.
You
We're
got
not
it.
getting upset. Hey, Carla,
hey, Kimmer.
did you know a 150-pound person who is seated burns 50 or 100 to 150 calories by knitting for an hour?
Wow.
You can sit on your butt and knit for an hour and burn 100 to 150 calories. The same person, same size, burns slightly more calories by crocheting.
Look at that.
173 calories an hour. So
That's right.
if you need to lose a little weight, you should crochet.
That's right. Crochet for your health.
Crochet for your health.
That's what I'm doing.
Or knit, but do one.
Do
If you
something.
did it all day, you could totally burn off like a McDonald's Happy Meal. Think about that.
Wow.
It's a free Happy Meal.
Yeah.
I mean, or something kind of like that,
Or maybe a Bloody Mary.
or maybe a like a drink, like something with rum and Coke or whatever. And
Oh,
because
sure.
that's pretty sugar dense too. But I just
Sure,
thought it was interesting.
absolutely. Or an old fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, Kimmer,
Mm.
did you know Jeanette Huizinga owns the world's largest knitting needles? Largest.
Oh yeah, that chick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Each
Have you ever
needle-
seen her?
Yeah. Huge.
Listen
Each
to this.
needle weighs 25 pounds and stands at 13 foot 75 inches.
Seriously, that's like two of your average size men, one standing on top of the other. And in order to hold that record, she had to knit with them. She had to actually knit with them. They couldn't just be a prop.
Right.
So I wanted to see a video of that.
Yeah, it'd
How
be
did she
crazy.
do
Could you
that?
imagine?
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That is
So
nuts.
Huizinga had to knit a 10 by 10 square with the massive needles to qualify for
Okay,
the
but
title.
10 by 10 what? Inches?
Square.
Feet?
Yeah.
Yards?
10 by 10.
It just says 10 by 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
crazy.
I have a feeling though that if she even just started to knit, it'd be bigger than
we
you
have
know, 10 by 10
one
inches.
stitch would probably be
5.
half a foot to a foot,
Yeah,
wouldn't you
at
think?
least, I would think.
I mean, I'm guessing, I'm estimating, but something like that.
It is a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
what were they? 13? 25 pounds.
Almost 14 feet tall.
So
Yeah. That's really
huge.
That's really
Huge.
cool. Hey Carla,
yes,
did you know
I didn't.
the finest recorded knitting, so
Yeah.
the finest yarn weight recorded knitting is a piece that is 2,464 stitches per 1 inch squared.
Good Lord.
And it was made by a man named Douglas Milne
Yeah,
from Glasgow in the UK in 1969. He still holds this record.
that is insane.
2,464 stitches per 1 inch square, or 6.5 centimeters.
I would never be
That's
able to
like-
see it. Can you imagine?
2,464 stitches in a space this big. I want to know what you knit with that is that fine. I mean, even is it hair? It must be something that is the thickness of a piece of hair or an eyelash. You know?
Spiderweb.
Crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, that one really made me go, wow.
Yeah. I
And can
can't
you
even
imagine doing 2,464 stitches and only having something be this big?
I cannot. I cannot.
What if that was an actual project?
I can't even imagine.
I'll see you in about 250 years.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
You will be a cowl in 200 years.
Because think about using like thread, like
Mhm.
just regular thread, and making like the little amigurumi that people make that are just
Yeah,
tiny.
They're just tiny.
I could never.
There's tons of stitches in those. So I would like someone to tell me how many stitches on average there is in a pair of knitted socks using sock weight yarn, because I would like to know comparatively how many stitches is that compared to that.
Yeah,
That I have curiosities. We can't stop the curiosity train. Now I'm curious about
Right.
that. Yeah, definitely.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Wowza.
Yeah.
Oh, Kimmer, did you know
What? I didn't. I know nothing.
both crochet and knitting are worked from right to left?
Yep. Backwards from reading.
Yes. Some scholars argue that this is further proof that knitting was invented in the Middle East, where you read from right to left.
Left to right. No, right to left. Okay, wait. We read from left to right,
Yep.
but we work yarn from right to left.
Yes.
But in the Middle East, they read from right to left. So that the scholars think that kind of proves,
Right.
because there's a lot of debate about where these fiber crafts actually started, especially knitting,
Originated.
Mhm. and how long ago. Part of the problem with that is that fibers break down.
Mhm.
They're biodegradable unless they're plastic.
Well,
So
and also there are like there's other crafts that are similar, that look similar to knitting.
yeah, nail binding.
Yeah,
and-
nail
yep,
binding. Yep.
Yeah, which is like that single. It kind of looks like a giant sewing needle. It's like a single needle, almost a hook,
Mm-hmm.
but it's you do something that looks
It's a
kind of like
needle,
knitting
yeah.
with it.
Yep.
Yep.
It's really
So, yeah.
impressive.
So they're not sure exactly. They're not sure exactly. There are pieces of fiber that were preserved. Some I remember reading something about one that was like 7,000 years old.
Mhm.
It was basically looked like part of a skirt,
Right.
but they weren't sure if it was woven or knitted, and they're still arguing about that because
Right.
it would be a difference. The craft itself is, they're
Yeah.
not sure.
And I was reading something about that as well, is that it's hard when they come across when they're doing their archaeological digs, it's hard to say whether these this pile of sticks here is skewers
Yeah.
for something,
Or
or they use it for knitting.
tools
Right.
or
Right.
what. Yeah, like
Absolutely.
they have to make a lot of guesses. They have to have a lot of context when they come
Right.
across stuff like
Right.
that. So they're just human and they have to do their very
Yep.
best. And
But I
so
feel,
I feel like it's probably been around forever,
yeah,
but at the same time, there's no evidence.
right.
And so I'm sure that the arguments go on forever because it's all academic. Who cares how long it's been around or where
Right.
it came from? It's here now.
And let's use it.
Let's be grateful for that.
Yes, absolutely.
So anyway, that concludes our main segment of our Did You Know episode. We
Did
thought
you
you guys
know?
might like get a kick out of a kind of a relaxed, episode of interesting facts, things you may not have known about your chosen love affair hobby. But that doesn't mean we're done because we still have
The
Desert
desert island question.
So, Carla,
Yes, Karen.
if you were stranded on a deserted island,
Yes.
what 3 project bag essentials would you go bug crap if you didn't have when you became stranded on the deserted island? You do already have yarn
Mhm.
and a hook or knitting needles.
Okay.
What 3 project bag essentials are so necessary to the task,
Right.
that you would lose your crap if you didn't have it? If you,
You know-
lost your freaking
you know-
project bag when you went overboard and got stranded. on
My
the
gut instinct is to say I'd need 3 project bags because why can't I can never have enough project bags.
Where are you gonna put
However,
them if you just have yarn and a crochet hook? That's what you're gonna
I
have?
put
3
anything.
project bags?
No. I'm just saying that's my gut reaction, my knee-jerk reaction. However, 3 items that does not include yarn.
Yep, you already
Or the
have yarn
utensil.
or the actual utensil tool. That's the thing. There's a big sigh.
I am gonna need something sharp, a knife or scissors,
Okay, that's fair. I agree with that.
and I am going to need at least 1 stitch marker.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't use another piece of yarn or?
I can, but when I'm switching through my projects, I like to have
Mm.
something that's not going to fall off.
Okay. Stitch
But
marker.
maybe not.
Interesting choice. Oh, you
Yeah.
can't take it back.
Okay.
Scissors and a stitch marker.
Scissors, stitch marker.
You like how I just make up rules as we go along?
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. Number 3. The 3rd thing, huh? Did I already have a project bag?
No,
Okay.
you have
it's
yarn
gonna-
and
yeah,
a
I have yarn
hook or a
and
needle.
I'm gonna need a project bag.
So you need a project bag, a
Mm-hmm.
stitch marker, and something sharp like scissors or
Mhm.
something to cut with.
Mhm.
That isn't what I would have said. That is
Really?
interesting. Yeah,
What would you have
I
said?
would have said scissors as well.
Yep.
Definitely, or something maybe even longer lasting than that. That is very sharp because
So I said a
fiber
knife
dulls.
or- Yep.
Fiber dulls scissors down. You
But we got
constantly
rocks. You can
constantly
sharpen
need new yarn scissors. That's true. But
You
yeah,
want-
scissors.
it, right?
I would need that, and then I would need some kind of needle, some kind of tapestry needle or something like that. I would need more than one way to do the things.
Do the things.
Yep,
You
more
mean
than
like
one way.
put your ends in?
Well, not just that, but so what if I made something out of yarn
Yep.
that I then wanted to attach to something else? What if I wanted to sew? Well, what if I can't? What if that won't work? All right, whatever. Yeah, listen, I can say what I want.
You can.
I
I'm
want
just
I
saying.
want scissors and a tapestry needle, and I think I would want indispensable a tape measure,
Yeah.
some
They're
kind of
overrated.
measurement tool, so that I can figure things out, like
Yep,
how
fair.
much yarn did this take to do this?
Mhm.
Okay, or something like that. Maybe that might be dumb. I'm curious what you guys think. If you
Yeah,
want, you can
interesting.
comment in
Please
the
comment.
show comments. What 3 things would you require if you were stranded on a desert island and you already have yarn and a tool, like an implement, whether you knit
Yeah.
or crochet?
I feel like
You
I
have
could make
those
a
2
needle.
things. What else would you need? Or without, going, bah! I want to know. Can't stop the curiosity train.
Inquiry.
Uh-oh. Excuse
Okay.
me. Woo!
You all right?
Nose tickle.
You all right?
Yes, it was. Uh-oh. Oh, she has to read it. That's bad. I'm
All
like
right.
hiding over here. Look at me. I'm pulling away. I'm like, oh God, what is she going to do to me? Okay, go.
So you're on a deserted island.
I am.
You have all the wool you could ever want.
Great.
Would you rather be allergic to wool or eat a can of dog food?
Wait. Okay, so you're saying I have all this yarn, but it's all wool, but I'm allergic to wool? Or if I want to not be allergic to wool, the solution to that is to eat a can of dog food?
Well, that's what you have to eat is canned dog food. So if
To keep the wool?
Yes. If you eat the canned dog food, you
I'm not
won't be
allergic
allergic
to the wool.
to the wool.
Is it wet dog food?
Yeah.
Like wet dog food?
Disgusting wet dog food.
I might be hungry.
I should have said cat food
I'd
because it smells
I'd eat
so
the dog
much
food.
worse than dog food.
Either one.
Yeah.
I'd eat it. And actually, I'd take the cat food, the can smaller.
Oh,
There's way less to have to eat.
oh man.
Listen, I want to be able to use my yarn or I'm
Yeah,
going to
this
lose
is
my
true.
freaking mind. And
This is
I might
true.
be hungry.
Yep,
So, I
you're
mean,
right.
yeah,
You're
I'm
right.
going to eat it. I'm going to eat it.
You know,
I'm sorry if that's gross, but I'm doing it. I'm going to eat
yeah,
it.
I would probably do it. Too.
Yes, you would. I know you would. Mix it with a little sand so it's
Right?
more gritty.
Oh, oh, no.
Bull.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
suppose
I'm-
if you cooked it, it wouldn't be bad.
I don't know. It has bone meal in it, which is terrible for your. But again, you're stranded on a deserted island. What are you eating anyway? Everything you eat is going to be terrible for your system.
Yeah.
Nothing is cooked right or digestible really or whatever. So
Coconuts.
if you're lucky,
Yeah, I know you won't
Yeah.
be able to get in them.
yeah, God, well, yeah, you will because you have scissors.
I'm not
Remember?
using my scissors on a coconut.
Well, you're stranded on a deserted
I
island.
know.
That's why you need a sharp implement you can
I
resharpen
know.
because you're going to need it for
It's
yarn
gonna be
and your
terrible.
coconuts.
You don't use your yarn scissors for other things.
You start up.
Okay,
you
I
start
changed
a
my
crack
mind.
and then you smash the coconut on a rock.
I need two sharp things.
One for the coconuts and opening the can of
And
canned
what-
dog food.
and one for everything else.
Oh, Lord.
funny.
Okay. The nonsense. We hope you found tonight's Yarn Yak episode interesting, enlightening, or helpful. Let us know in the comments your thoughts and questions. You can ask us questions on our Facebook page too, under the pinned post on the top of the page that says questions with the jumping chicks and their cute little stocking hats and stuff with their yarn and their knitting needles and crochet hooks. Tell us what you want to hear from us about. We love to know what we could do show topics around for you guys because this show is for you. Be sure to check out our website at www.shopthestashbusters.com. You can follow the Stash on Facebook and Instagram, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel where we upload Yarn Yak episodes, and also we have a bunch of tutorials. We just started a new playlist of tutorials which we hope to keep adding to as quickly as possible called Shut Up and Give It To Me tutorials. They are short, under 6-minute tutorials on how to do basic stitches, and we, like I said, hope to keep adding to those. So there's no fluff on those at all. No background conversation, no free setting up, nothing about my dog. It is just literally the title of that tutorial. It is just about that, and that's it. So tune in next week for finishing techniques, fastening off, weaving in, sewing down, your ends, ways to do that, the right ways and absolutely the not right ways. And then basic blocking, basic wet blocking. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I get a lot of questions about that. I'm going to try and give you guys some pointers and get you pointed in the right direction on the how and the why that you would want to do that. Not going to get anything heavy though. So if you're expecting like hardcore knitting blocking techniques, that's not this episode. This is beginner blocking. And also you will see another short little stop on our Southwestern Wisconsin yarn store shop tour that we did a couple weekends ago.
Yes.
This one was kind of we really liked the shop. So we're going to put our little clip about her shop up during that episode as well. Anyway, we hope you guys have a great week. We hope we see you at the store. We hope you have yarn in your hands right now and all the times you can get away with it this whole week long. And I hope you're warmer by the time we see you. It's like gradually supposed to get warmer if you're around here. Anyway, happy yarning, friends.
Happy yarning.
Good night.
Yarn.